Okay. It says I'm live. Now let's just see if that is the case. There we go. Yep. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to New Light Streaming Love. Um, this is going, at first, what I'm going to do is an energy read for today. Um, and then we're going to move along to some cards we'll pull for anyone who feels so drawn. So, I'm gonna start with today's energy. It's been a very interesting day for me. A lot of synchronicities again. I didn't come this morning and do a live because the morning mojo or yeah, morning mojo show because it felt very in inner focused. There's a lot unfolding in my field. I got a feeling there is for everyone. I had hoped to be able to get a conscious conversation going this week, but I was unable to make that happen. Well, wait a minute. It just never unfolded with the beings that I was hoping to have those conversations publicly with. So I am aware, however, that it has been said to me by others that around the first of the month, they got a lot of, well, in one case, visuals came in of like zip files being downloaded into the field, their field. And the report has been that they're opening here and there, right? And the way it was described, I was like, well, I didn't physically see, sense, or feel anything like that. However, I have a sense because of the different way it feels like my attention is engaging with all of my surroundings. And I apologize if you're hearing a leaf blower because the minute 5 o'clock started getting closer by, my neighbor decided that this was the best time right before night to blow some leaves. So it is getting dark here in, oh wow, we had this card just the other day. Ah, well, this is a six, card number six. Numerologically, that's the number of love, balance, harmony. And it really speaks to me again about, when I hold it upside down like this, you can see light coming in, light going out, right? This is the proper way to hold the card. And that is the way it came out. However, I see this in many ways as light coming into my field, right? And well, everyone's field. I really do have a sense that that's happening for everyone. It's just whether or not one is puzzle piece collecting, right? For me, it feels very much like a quest, as I've said before. I've chosen to view this journey like a quest. I told a new friend just recently here. I'm 63 and I've never had the opportunity, but I've always wanted to learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons because that's just right up my alley. I just love that kind of I don't know, intuitive play. I've never done it. I don't even know what it's like. Chances are I'd start doing it and I wouldn't enjoy it, but you just never know. And it feels to me like something that I would be into. So, oh, this one, try. Oh my, the singer of connection, which, wow, again, wow. These two cards coming out. Oh, and it's a six as well. Okay. The singer of connection. These are to me, in the Oracle of the Fairies deck, the Fairies Oracle deck by Brian Froud and Jessica Macbeth, this is very much like the major arcana in the regular tarot to me, right? These are the large and in charge beings, right, of the fairy universe. And the singer of connection wants to go first, not surprisingly. Now, just to let you know, I am going to be offering to pull cards. So if you would like, don't type a question the way I do this. For me, I would prefer that you hold the question in your field for several reasons. First of all, this ensures that your greater being and my greater being are having a conversation in the ethers, and I am more apt to receive what it is your greater being wants you to know in reference to. This is a way that I developed for myself to hone into that inner voice. Because honestly, if you ask me a question, I say this all the time. I am 63 years old, so that means I'm an old broad that's lived a while. And you run the risk of getting advice. And I mean, who needs that? Um, Nobody. And so this way, it's a much clearer, honest connection for me. And so if you would like a card, go ahead and type it in the chat there. I'll take a card. And then as I move, then I will call your name if you would like to participate. So now I haven't done this in quite some time either. So the two of you that are here now are probably brand new to me. I've had a couple of other YouTube channels, and I haven't been on my other channel, Sassy C or Sheila, in a while. New Light Streaming Love is a collaborative channel with some other beautiful beings who may or may not be able to pop in and have a chat and a read of a card or two tonight. I don't know. We'll see. We're leaving everything really loose. I just know that I felt called to be here this evening. Now, also because it is the full moon in Taurus, and it is moonrise was at 4:58. San, oh, how are you, my love? I will definitely put you down for a card. You will be the first person as soon as I do the energy read. How lovely to see you, my dear. Okay, so the Singer of Connection, which I love the fact that this card came out, not just because it's another six, but because my whole reason for desiring to do this tonight was to be in connection with you all, those who felt drawn to be here this evening, right? Um, I often see this for myself also as the sword of truth. I know it is not that, but I am an air sign, a Libra, and focused on authenticity and being clear, the clearest I can be both with myself and others whenever there's communication. So I always see that also connected here. I also see um, this safe space container here for the connection, right? The inner, ooh, it's like I'm hearing words that conversations that I've had with Lisa in regards to pulling beings into the heart space and having uh, that communication that may be a little difficult to have in the physical, having that communication in the ethers. I don't know why that's coming in. That may be helpful for someone. So the key words for this card are spiritual connection, karma, balance, empathy. This singer supports all connections, the web of light between all beings, all particles, and between past, present, and future, which is very interesting because, as I said before, part of my desire to come here tonight was to reestablish uh, the connections that I'd made within myself also while reading for others. But I was describing, I was endeavoring to describe in the post that I made on the community tab of New Light Streaming Love my process, which I'm going to be doing an entire standalone video about that because I think it's important for me as well as everyone else that is what this is referring to here for me. This singer supports all connections, the web of life between all beings, all particles, and between past, present, and future. It brings wholeness to apparent duality and combines all energies, uniting all that was, is, or could be. When we lose awareness of this connection in our lives, we feel isolated, lonely, bereft. I feel like that's a true statement. Very true. Yet the energy is there. We only need to be open to it. Yes, I'm very clear that when I shut that down, it is me shutting that down. It's not the universe or anything else. It's that because there's always connection available. There are emotions that help us open up: love, compassion, trust, and so on. There are other emotions that we tend to close down around unless we make a special effort to keep our hearts open. As you can probably guess, these emotions are feelings such as jealousy, anger, fear, grief, and others of a similarly painful nature. Now, just this week, in recording more chapters of the Joshua channelings, which I've been releasing once per day here on the channel under the playlist Joshua channelings. So it may not be one that's out yet, but just this week, and I wrote it down because I really felt that it was an important quote, actually. Oh, what happened to it now? Feelings are more your intuitive knowings, and emotions are like your children. And I like that because when I feel something, I can feel it, but emotions are generally energy and motion, and generally also for me, it feels as though there's sometimes for me an egoic attachment or tied to a traumatic instance that, you know, that I haven't resolved, unresolved trauma, triggers. So, like I said, it's been loaded with synchronicity for me this entire week. Yet sometimes these very emotions, when carried to an extreme, cause us to break down and then break through to the song of ecstasis. This is a risky way to go, as well as an extremely difficult one, because more often the breakdown just stays broken for a long time, and then we retreat back into a more crippled version of our original selves. That's why for me, whenever there's a trigger, I want to feel it all the way through to its logical completion, ask myself questions. If I can't do it on my own internally, I engage with either, usually for me, it is either, Crystal Hemphill of Journey Into It, also a collaborator here on New Light Streaming Love, or my housemate, Lisa Flamino Rush, who is generally her first, who because she's right here, who is also a collaborator here on New Light Streaming Love, and because we all are doing the same sort of thing, looking at our triggers, they're both safe spaces to to help point me back to me. And so um, I can see where in the past in my life I would have crawled right back into a more crippled and become actually a much more crippled version of myself. However, that feels like those days are gone, and they certainly are not supported on the planet, is my feeling for me anyway. A far better way to become ever more aware of our essentially holistic nature is to work at keeping our hearts open, seeing relationships being earthed and centered and connected. In a meditation, someone, and I suspect it was this singer, asked me to let go of all my defenses. I argued that surely we needed defenses in this world in order to survive. I was firmly but lovingly told it is only by letting go of all your defenses that you become invulnerable. And I know I know how that feels to think about that. But in truth, for me, that's a true statement as well. It's really hard to manipulate and I mean, I don't know. Once a being knows that they can heal themselves by looking at everything and not running and hiding from anything and allowing a lot of things, because it's really only our programmed condition that causes us to think that something is good or bad, regardless of what it is. For me, that's come to prove. That gave me such a strong shock of recognizing the rightness of it that I couldn't even breathe for a moment. But then, still reluctant because it sounded like a big job, I muttered that I didn't think I knew how to do that, or even what all my defenses were. I was assured kindly that I would receive help if I asked for it, and I know that you will be given the same aid too. I do feel like that's true. Through the power of this singer, all connections are made, held, and released as appropriate. In a reading, this singer indicates the connection of things, especially reconnecting with those that have been sundered. It is unifying and reunifying. It tells us that we need to be aware of the connections between different aspects of the issue under discussion, as well as the connections between the people linked by it. We also may need to build more connections, a network of mutual support, which That's what I started the original Conscious Conversation Central channel for. And so, New Light Streaming Love will be more of that. The presence of the singer of connection in a reading indicates support and strength flowing through the connections between those involved. Wow. I love that for a lot of reasons. Like I said, ooh, I had to plug my phone in, so I got a cord stretched across my desk here so I could see our comments. So I don't know. I find it very interesting that the Singer of Connection came out for this tonight, since I am going to be reading cards for everyone. Which I notice now that there are three more folks that have joined us. So I want to let you know this is an intuitive reading hangout session, and therefore I will be reading a card for you. If you'd like one, just type "I'll take a card." I'm the kind of reader that because this is really to practice my skills. I don't want to know your question because you run the risk of getting an old lady giving you advice. And because I'm all too happy to do that. Because there's the ego part. Nettie P, of course you can. Sandra is first, but you can be next. I've got one more card from our collective to read, and then I'm going to just jot you here, and you can be right after Sandra. And the way it works is that I will ask you to hold your question in your field, and then I will ask my higher being to reach out and feel your higher being and your energy. And then I will just begin to give you everything I get, anything I feel in my body, any visuals, any hearing, anything. And then I will also pull a card, and we'll go from there. Okay, so, well, actually, now see in the card I just read for the Singer of Connection, right here where it talked about the singer supports all connections, the web of light between all beings, all particles, and between past, present, and future. What I just described is exactly that. My using the web of light. Nettie P. Fonnie D. I'm so glad you're in the house. I sent you out a mental thing this morning that's when I knew I was going to be here, and said, I wonder if Fonnie D is going to show up, because she doesn't even, I haven't talked to you in so long. I am so glad you're here. So I feel like you felt me. At any rate, that is the web that I know we all have access to. So I'm not doing anything special. Everybody can do this. You can do this. We all can do this. I've just practiced, not lately, not lately with all of you, but that's what tonight is, right? Tonight is well, I've been doing the lives here for a little while now in the mornings, but this is the first intuitive hangout session I've done in quite some time. So this is me coming back. Daryl, I got you. Um, and you want a card too, Fonnie? Okay, I'll put you down right after Daryl. So I have Sandra first. I have Nettie P, I have Daryl, and then I have Fonnie. And I'm so glad you guys are here. Oh, I just had said to my housemates, I said, I don't know, maybe nobody will show up. But, haven't been out there in a while. And so, okay. So the other card for our collective, which again, I'm not surprised showed up, because both of those cards are 6. Balance, love, harmony. are what those that number means for me. This is the card one. And I love this because again, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Is the light coming from within me and going out? Is it coming from out and going in? I would say the answer is actually both. So for me, I do see this as being something that I can look at. Kind of looks a little like me in some ways, right? Um, and in light of the fact that just this week I've also uh, had a message come for me about doing another BQH session with Crystal about my solar plexus. So that's very interesting that this come out too. I was just reminded of that. This card is one. I have abolished duality from myself. I have seen the two worlds as one. One I seek, one I know, one I see, and one I call Rumi. You look for me, and what do you see? You. Am I playing games with you, holding up a mirror for you to behold God? Yes. There are games of love, and these are games of love and truth. And those are my favorite games to play, let me just say. That's why I love this. Look for me and find yourself, for I am you and you are me. And together we are one, playing hide and seek in love's great playground. We actually have been playing hide and seek with ourselves too, by the way. I really do feel like that's a true statement. Like molten gold poured from the furnace of divine love into a one of a kind mold, you are created uniquely and of divine essence. Everybody, if we could realize that any time we try to, um, even the very desire within my vessel to want somebody else to see something my way, I recognize now as a power over energetic, power over other, because I want you to see it the way I do. But you are a unique vantage point on creation. You're meant to see, sense, feel all in your own way as that uniquely, as created uniquely and of divine essence. You are both the lover and the beloved. There is no aspect of your life separate from your spiritual journey, and there is no aspect of you that is not of divine origin. Even your darkest, deepest, what you think is the most rotten part of you is still from a divine origin. You can label it whatever you want, doesn't change the truth of it. So then, why the frowning, the fear, or the questioning? Let me share a sublime secret with you. Let me whisper it into your heart now. There is nothing to fear. All is unfolding according to the divine genius, and there is a sweet shift in store for you. No matter how dire circumstances may appear to be, or how despairing you may feel, there is still an avenue through which fulfillment and resolution will be granted. This will happen. That is because the divine seeks wholeness of the one. That means anything and every part of existence, and that includes you and all aspects of your being and life, is claimed by the divine. Your return to the divine is demanded. Every part of you, every life circumstances, every life circumstance, the divine keeps rigorous, flawless accounts. Therefore, nothing shall be left unaccounted for, not even that which seems to be outside divine attention and grace at this moment. You must remember that you are a living heart, the dweller at the center between heaven and earth, star and soil, light and dark. If you cannot summon the joy to rise up and meet the divine beloved, fear not. That cunning lover lies deep within the depths, waiting to gather you into sacred embrace as you descend into darkness. Either through flying or falling, you shall be caught and tangled up in divine embrace. So fear not. Cast aside worry and concern. Know that you are thoroughly itemized on the divine ledger, and not one moment of your struggle or suffering shall miss the hawk like gaze of the ever attentive and heavenly beloved. This oracle comes to you with particular guidance. There is a friction or conflict within you or your life right now. A sense, perhaps, of being pulled in more than one direction and confusion because of this. You are questioning which path to take, this way or that. What if you choose this path and it turns out the other one would have been better? But how can you know what choice, if any, is most needed in your life? So many questions. Your mind is scurrying. There is no other word for it. Backwards and forwards it goes, to and fro, trying to settle upon the truth. I love you too much to allow this to continue unchecked. Surrender it. A lot of us have trouble with the word surrender, and I'll speak for myself as someone who has, I'm sure still, obviously, some unresolved trauma regarding surrender. Okay, before I get too far, oh, Myron, I'm happy to put you on the list as well. Okay. So, I love you too much to allow this to continue unchecked. Surrender it. Give it up. The truth you seek is this: you shall be. You shall manifest your destiny just as the acorn grows into the oak tree. You cannot be other than what you are. And as you accept this, life responds. I feel like that's a true statement because I used to be worried that, oh, I'm going to miss out, or I'm late, or I'm not doing this right, or whatever. But through the puzzle piece collecting I've been doing over the last several years, let me just say, I don't think you can make a mistake. I really don't. We can label things mistakes if we wanna. Free to do that. But it all serves. If one moves toward what is drawing one, regardless of how you're there, there's something for me, I have found. Even if I can label that, I shouldn't have done that. Well, I learned from it. So why classify it as something wrong or whatever? You cannot be other than what you are, and as you accept this, life responds. It breathes and relaxes around you so that what you need can come to you more easily. It finds you, drawn to the need in you that is natural and inviting, and not a cause for anxiety or distress, not worry. I don't know why I want to say worry, but there you go. The need leads to satiety. What is desired and what fulfills that desire is one. They are lovers. that come to each other naturally, even through darkness and confusion, drawn to each other, following the natural course of the universe to become one. So do not fret and fear, my beloved. Do not hold back from that which feels incomplete out of anxiety or distress. It is just the lover that will soon be joined by the beloved. You are recognizing the moment before this occurs, so fret not, and instead let that inner lover loose. Allow her to shake out her hair, put on her most sensuous perfume, and laugh as she dances barefoot in fields of lush grass and fragrant flowers. Let her tempt her beloved to come close because she can be seen, she can be heard. Her movement sends her scent through the air. She entices the yearning beloved to her, and soon enough they meet, and it becomes possible for yet again two to become one. And then there will be wild peace and ecstatic contentment within you. And I feel like that comes in waves for me. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Feel free to comment if you've noticed. Like, it seems to me like larger portions of my greater being enter into my field, hang around, data, information, greater portions of me right here. And then one of my mantras is more of me into me. And as these portions, these aspects, these greater portions of me integrate into this vessel, I feel like that's what this is describing here, right? That there's a natural drawing there, right? And it sort of comes in waves. And I've noticed over this past year an even greater sense of just being at peace within my being. I don't know how to explain that, but I hope that was a little better than what it felt like. The little me feels like I said that there. If there is any part of you struggling to surrender the conflict between old and new, between what has been and what needs to be, between passion and duty, creativity and rationality, between this role or identity, then know this: even the conflict serves. That's kind of what I just said was a minute ago, wasn't it? Don't choose either one and believe it is the answer. Sometimes the sacrifice is not one or the other, but the idea that it can only be one or the other. And I feel like that's very true. I've witnessed that both for me and many other beings. At another level, a level of divine resolution, there is beyond the apparent polarity and conflict a third way, which is, I feel, what is more supported now. Many more beings, while they may not say it like this, it's the vibe that I get from beings, right? This third way, the rising up to where there is only one perfection taking place constantly. Open your heart, you'll find the bridge to understanding and trusting in that perfection there, where it has always been and will always be. Don't worry, all is happening exactly as it should. This oracle brings you particular guidance. There is a resolution and a perfect coming together of elements in your life that might have seemed disparate or in conflict. Something you have been trying to integrate is so very nearly ready to click into place. This really goes with what I was saying before I actually pulled the cards. I've been made aware of some beings who have said, that for one in particular, around the 1st of November, they began uh, not being able to sleep at night and have the distinct feeling that um, even said that there was a visual of like files flying in, right? And just hanging there, zip files, if you will. And then at some point, feeling some of those zip files sort of opening and unpacking themselves. And so I think that's happening for a lot of us, whether you feel it or not, know it or not, recognize it or not, um, because it really does feel like more uh, heart-based or heart-centered consciousness is really showing up in the outer world, at least to me. So I'm going to hold these two cards out. That is our energetic overall for today. And again, I'm not surprised. I think there's going to be way more. Sandra, are you still in the house, love? That's the other thing, folks. I will ask if you're still here because sometimes I guess I get a little carried away and folks get tired or they fall asleep or they just plain are bored and so they leave. So I like to make sure you're still in the house before I begin to try to step into your field because and be aware that that is what I feel like I'm doing. Well, let's just look at it this way. For those of you that are here that are new to me, there have been times when I first started doing this. On one occasion, I started sweating only to learn that the person that I was reading for was sitting in a hot tub. Then there was the time I was reading for a being and I said, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm being pulled over to the left. Like all I want to do is lay down. No, I'm being pulled to the. Turns out he was laying on his left side. So be aware that that is what I feel happens. So if you don't want me in your field, don't ask for a card. Because I'm, like I said, I am asking my larger, greater aspect of me, my higher self, my soul, the part that has the ability to do that, to communicate with that higher version of yourself, and then I just start giving what I get. Okay, so Sandra, I see you said yes, so I'm going to step into your field, okay? And immediately upon stepping in your field, I want to rock myself. And generally that means that something is initiating, but I'm wondering if this isn't, because I also feel like I want to do this. So there's some comforting involved. You know, like whether you're finding yourself doing this or you're finding that you rocking someone else, whether it would be, and this could also be just to let everyone know because I'm in your field, it may not necessarily be your energy, it could be someone around you. It could be something that past or future. I never know unless, sometimes I get told that. But I'm also feeling, like I was saying, I just now feeling the need to, this shoulder in particular feels a little, not in pain, but like stiff or something. Anything else? Yeah, I just really want to rock. That's the only thing I'm getting out of your field at the moment. So either, and again, I feel like everybody on the planet is taking in more of the because the data my interpretation of how it's coming to us. It's coming through the sun. And many beings, shaman and differing beings have said that the sun is a portal, and where it's a portal to, I don't know. But at any rate, okay, who wants to come out and play with sand? Okay. Oh, okay. The the sacred forest wants to come out for you. I will, and I want to say something too. There's 8 folks here. I just just was made known today that we have yet again a terrible. Hi, I be overthinking. I, I resonate with that. Because I used to be overthinking too, and sometimes I still do. Um, we've had leaks in this house before, but found another leak yesterday, and there's mold at the top of it, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I think we're going to end up having to move. And I have this feeling it's going to be really quick. So I want to say that I have an awful lot of tarot cards that I no longer feel connected to. And I've been thinking about holding a raffle. So look for me to do a video where I show all the cards that will be up for raffle. Uh, and I'll hold a raffle for each deck. The raffle will not be expensive to enter. Ooh, 2 came popping out for you, my love. The Aspen Spirit, and the key word is courage. Ooh, lots of transformation in that card. The other one that came out was stability, the Earth Spirit. Okay. I also chose to do this tonight because it is the full moon in Taurus, which is an Earth sign. And very shortly we will be Pluto will be moving into Aquarius for the next 20 years. So we've got a lot of huge shifts happening astrologically, which in my feel affects the data, and that kind of plays into, in my way of thinking, my feeling about how the differing energies are or are not supportive anymore. I'm new. What we doing? Are you pulling cards? May I have one? Yes, you may. Thank you for asking. I will put your name down. Don't type what you want to know. Because you run the risk of getting an old lady to just give you advice if you do that. So yes, I'd be happy to. I'd be overthinking. I don't know why, but that just uh, makes me giggle because trust, I do the same. Okay, so you're like it right now. The list stands at Sandra, who I'm on now, then Nettie P, then Daryl, Fonnie D, Myron, and I be overthinking. Okay, so sand. The minute I saw this card, I knew on some level of me that feeling of comfort, if you're not feeling this now, you may be. Just the very fact that it's talking about courage, all the while having the blue butterflies there. The blue butterflies to me always mean transformation, huge transformation. Butterflies themselves generally anyway, but blue butterflies, again, for me personally, my favorite color is blue. It's tied to the throat chakra. If there are things that you are keeping yourself silent on, um, it may, for some reason, I'm feeling like that's partly why the courage card is here, right? So there is also something too for me, and I don't know if it's your confusion that I'm feeling about this or not, okay? Because within my own, and again, as I've said to everyone, whenever I read, there's something here for me as well as everyone else that is drawn here. Most specifically, this would be for sand, but generally there'll be something for everyone. I personally, growing up, was told over and over and over again that fairies don't exist. I had experiences with fairies as a child, and it got so out of hand that I was accused of lying, and I was sent away from my home and sent to finish school out in a different state. And now, as an adult, I know that what I interacted with was real, and that those around me couldn't see, sense, and feel because they were no longer children, and we are taught to shut our imagination and our eyes to see and ears to hear off. And so when things like that, sometimes, for me, I it becomes, because this is showing like a fairy tale castle in the distance, right? So I don't know if within you there's something that you've been struggling with that says, but that's so out there. It can't possibly be. And these are the folks that are my family, and they all think I'm crazy, and maybe I am, and because I've gone through all of that kind of thing myself. I don't know if that's what you're moving through, but it's what I'm feeling as I'm feeling into this, especially with that needing to feel a comforting feeling there. And I feel like the second card came out with it because you do know, you know, you are aware. There is a part of you that knows that that's real. Sometimes because we're not seeing any kind of movement in our outer world, we get kind of weary of things. But I feel like this card came out to make sure that you were aware that you do have stability. You don't have to worry about that. Now I'm going to read the card, not just my own reading, but what the book says here about the aspen spirit courage. In the forest, you can hear the whispering of the trees in the aspen grove. Your awareness sinks beneath the surface. You sense the aspen's network of roots, which allows each tree to connect with the rest of the grove. This connection also makes them a single organism, united at a soul level that can live for thousands of years. If the Aspen Spirit card has shown up in your life today, it brings a message of courage, protection, community, and the ability to face and overcome obstacles in life. Know that you are protected and you are safe. You are ready to step forward with courage and grace no matter what seems to be blocking your way. I really feel like that's also echoing the card we got for the overall energy of the Singer of Connection. As I said, this safe space here, right? Where we are all connected. Um, you are ready to step forward with courage and grace, no matter what seems to be blocking your way. The aspen's network of roots is a sign that you should be open to support from others. Combine your effort with like minded individuals. You don't need to do it all alone. This may be a good time to bond with people over a creative project or a community endeavor. Missed you today, my love. This may be a good time to bond with people over a creative project or a community endeavor. In Celtic tradition, the aspen was associated with community, endurance, and protection. The Celts chose the wood of the aspen tree to make their battle shields to protect them from spiritual as well as physical harm. Aspen was thought to be the teacher of fearlessness and carried a message of strength in facing the unknown. The spirit of Aspen says the energy of your inner spiritual warrior is ready to step forward to face any challenges or blockages in life. Be willing to accept help. Be fearless. And now the next one was card number 14. Numerologically, that's a 5, and 5 is all about change. So again, I feel this one was a 3, which is the Trinity, right? That triality that I feel like we are all moving towards. Not good or bad, but good and bad. Not dark or light, but dark and light, because we are all. So, Earth Spirit stability. In the lazy quietude of a warm summer afternoon, you recline on the soft moss on the forest floor and listen to the heartbeat of the earth. Her rhythmic cadence surges up from the ground beneath you. With each beat, you remember who you are and what is truly important in life. The strengthening, grounding energy of the earth is filling every part of you. It's time to take measure of your life and put your roots down. Assess who you are and where you are. Make plans for the future, but don't act on those plans until you feel secure in stepping forward. This is the time of preparation and going deeper. This card can also indicate that you aren't grounded and you need to create more stability into your life. Think things through before you take action. Take time to plan your future carefully. Don't rush into anything. Strength is growing within you. Security and protection surround you. You are safe. If you're thinking of making secure financial investments and receive this card, it's telling you that this is a good time to do so. It's not a time to take risks. I am not a financial advisor, so everybody take any of that with, whatever grain of salt that you or shaker thereof, because I know nothing about any of that. That's for sure. So the earth spirit provides the trees, plants, flowers, rivers, streams, oceans, mountains, and valleys, and supports us all with her bounty. She's stable and strong in her devotion to us. You're supported and loved, even if you're not always sure of it. The seeds that you plant now will bring abundance in the future, but only if you take the time to nurture those new beginnings. The Spirit of Earth says, be present in the moment. Slow down and let go of the busyness and frenetic pace of life. Explore your roots, honor your past, go deep, reflect on your life. I hope that was helpful for you, Sandra. And do reach out, my love. I've missed you the last couple of weeks. And so, I'm available to you at any time. I hope you know that. Wow. Okay. So, Nettie P, are you still in the house, my dear? Give me the high sign there. Let me know that you are still here. I do see we have a few more folks in the house. I don't know, man. I tell you, I really do feel like things are getting real interesting these days. All right, Nettie P, thank you. And I want to say, I don't recognize a lot of the names here. Nettie P, I don't know you. Daryl Stanley, I don't know you. I'd be overthinking. Myron, I hope you guys enjoy yourselves, and we'd love to have you join the fam to hit the subscription button. And this channel is a collaborative effort. I'm not the only being that you will see here. I'm just the most active one at the moment. And Chris J may join us at some point. She may not. She has a lot going on this evening. Um, and there will be others, not tonight, but going in and out. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Sandra said definitely helpful. I will send a message. I adore you. Okay, Nettie B, I'm getting ready to step into your field now. So, of course, now I'm having some uh, post-nasal drip. And the minute I went to step into your field, I wanted to cough. Ooh, and I'm feeling a heaviness in my lungs. Now, me personally, I have COPD, and this could be me that I'm feeling, but I give everything that I get once I step into somebody's field. Um, Now, for you, I'm sensing a very slow, what I call a vortexing feeling. So I feel like it's not that something is initiating in your field. Whatever it is in your field that you're moving through is already moving. It's slow at the moment because that's why I'm feeling this. Wow, this is the first time I've ever felt to do this. So I don't know what this is exactly. Um, I don't know what that is. What is that? What is this? Okay. Is it possible that there's I don't mean, I'm getting a sense of the desire for tactile touch of some sort. I'm not really sure what this is. Oh, wow. Okay, wait a minute. Now that vortexing went back the other way. So, and uh knocked me a bit off center and feeling a little dizzy in my head. So isn't that interesting? It feels like you've got a lot going on in your field. Um, I don't know if you're surrounded by a lot of folks generally. Oh, again, I don't know what this is. I don't know why this is. Maybe that'll mean something to you, Nettie P. Hi, Charlotte. Welcome, welcome. If you would like a card, I'm not sure how many I'll be able to get to tonight. It just kind of depends. But if you'd like a card, I'm happy to put your name on my list. I prefer folks don't type a question so that we get it. And boy, my fingertips are just buzzing, Nettie P. So I don't know what that's about, but there's a very interesting thing happening there, and I'm not real clear as to what that is. Okay, so um, the Dreams of Gaia tarot wants to come out for you. So that's a new thing. I've never had that happen, Nettie P. Does that mean Reiki? Okay, are you? I am also a Reiki master instructor. Are you just now getting into it, or are you an instructor, or what it, because I it's very, very tingly on my fingers. I'm very interested to know, are you, if you are an instructor, or just starting out. Are you is your Reiki active right now? Just whatever you feel led to share, if you don't mind. That would be lovely. Okay. Oh, and Nettie P, I have a feeling that, okay, if you're not already doing this, you may begin. Okay, this is tantamount to the Four of Cups. It's the Four of Water. Just getting into it. Okay. Well, congrats. I have a whole different take on Reiki than I think probably most everyone. I think Reiki is something that everyone has and does. For me, I recognize the formal training of Reiki as a method of focus and attention, which is the same thing I feel about the any cards, tarot, oracle, anything like that. For me, I use it as a method to hone my focus and attention. There's so much else distraction out there, right? I feel like you are in the midst or about to. I think you're in the midst, not about to. There's some things about you that you are looking at. And for me, this is a very honest card. This is you being willing to see all of you, regardless what you find, and not shying away from what you find. Because I have held myself in some sort of kind of derision behind some things, only to turn around later and see that, wow, that was exactly what I had to move through, do, experience, whatever the case may be, to get me to the next level, to open my consciousness. Because and I truly feel, for me, that each being is awakening on this planet in their own timing. We have to stop trying to force other people to wake up, because all we're doing is traumatizing them further. That's my opinion about it. And we can all stand around and be upset because they don't know what we know, and if you only knew, and all that kind of stuff. Believe me, ask me how I know that. Because I did that for a long time. But if you only knew, you would do this, that, and the other. But the truth of the matter is, each being is here for experience of their own making. And none of us have a clue of what our own choices of experiences that we wanted, much less anybody else. I mean, I'm sorry, but as soon as I really grokked that, changed everything for me. Changed everything. Charlotte, I see you, and I got you on my list, love. So I am going to I'm moved this time. I'm not always moved to do this, but the Dreams of Gaia Tarot are very different as far as the meaning of the cards. And I'm feeling so whatever it is you're moving through, as you move through, or if this is something you're just starting, because if you're just starting Reiki, you are more than likely just beginning to open up to you in a much larger way. And so there will be loads of emotions for you to feel. And I feel to say, don't get swept away in them. Stay true to what you're doing there, because the mirror he holds has a wide open eye, and he's willing to see both faces. You see all those faces there. The key phrases for this card are confidence, awareness, self acceptance, forgiving, self belief, deserving, receptive, and consequences. Also, some key phrases. You are beautiful. Be aware of weakness, but focus on strengths. Well, and mistake, an opportunity to learn. See, that's what I'm saying. I classified a whole lot of things in my life as mistakes, but I'm 63 now. And so, with a little time and a little hindsight, I can see where I've never made not one mistake. I can classify it as a mistake if I must, but it wasn't a mistake. It was not a mistake. I don't think we make mistakes. I really don't. I there is something other than the little ego that is driving each of us. And hi, Vanessa, you certainly may. Oh, thank you so much. I've put you on my list, and the list is growing long, so I will ask if you're still in the house when we get to you, but you are absolutely welcome to have a card. Let me just say, I'm so glad everybody is asking for a card. Used to be on my old channel, I'd have to make sure that nobody typed a question because you run the risk of just getting advice. The Four of Water stands before you with quiet confidence and awareness. Despite his scarred appearance, he sees only beauty when he looks at his reflection. A gentle smile curves his lips as he regards himself with kindness and understanding. He has many weaknesses, and during his lifetime has made many mistakes, and yet he chooses to see the lessons he has learned and forgive himself instead of holding on to feelings of shame, regret, and guilt. Every scar makes him more beautiful, and every mistake presents him the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become wiser. Like all of us, he has many strengths to balance out his weaknesses, and it is these strengths on which he chooses to focus. He believes he is deserving of both love and happiness, and even when life offers an experience that scars, he refuses to allow hurt or disappointment to erode his self-belief or close his heart. Wow. There's more to that, but I feel like that's the main message for you. I hope that was helpful for you, Nettie P. And do I'm just going to say to you, Nettie P, pay very close attention to you. As you move through your Reiki journey, take everything you take in as a puzzle piece. It may not fit in your particular puzzle at that moment, but I keep being shown puzzle pieces that will highlight for me, and I just hold them in my field, and eventually they kind of fall and click into place. I hope that made sense. Okay, let's see who was next. Daryl, are you still in the house? Daryl Stanley. Let me know if you're still here. My tea is getting a little cold. I made myself a clove tea. Oh, thank you, Nettie. I appreciate that. I hope that you will come back and join us for a conscious conversation at some point. And let me just say this too now while we have 13 folks in the room. Thank you, Daryl. I will be making announcements of different topics that I wish to dive into for conscious conversation, central portion of the New Light Streaming Love channel. And so you guys all ought to go to www.knewlightstreaming.love as well and check that website out. I mean, who knew that you could get a .love website? I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened, but when I was looking around for name, for domain names, I said, I wonder, and I put it in .love and it took. So who knew you could get a .love instead of .com? Because also, honestly, I don't want to do commerce. I want to do love, man. So that's why there's no charges for anything I do. I'm a BQH practitioner. I operate only on, what we feel drawn to do together and, pay as somebody feels is worth it kind of deal if you can, and don't even worry about that because I'm going to take care of me. The universe is going to take care of me. So, I mean, that was the coolest thing ever. Okay, Daryl, I'm getting ready to step into your field now. Hmm. The very first thing I had experienced was a flash of, I don't know if that was light or I have my eyes closed. I have this desire to breathe very deeply. Don't know what that means. I'm feeling a pressure in my chest, just a little pressure, not a pain. I'm wanting to rock. Now that could be hmm. Okay, so usually rocking for me again means that there is something initiating in your field. There's something new initiating, and because of the pressure in the chest, and that light flash, I'm wondering if you've got okay, so I call this moving trucks whenever it happens. Sometimes I think that a lot of us are having our heart chakras either, it's sort of like the Grinch, where your heart is grown two sizes or five sizes or whatever it is, right? It's an expansion of that area, right? The whether it be the heart chakra or I have felt for some time that we create our reality as we move. Most of us are doing it pretty much unconsciously because we are creators. That is how we actually move through the divinity creates as we move. There have been others. I think Nassim Haramein is one of them that talk about that the between the two chambers of the heart is a black hole. We create our own reality, and our realities only exist by agreement together collectively. Like I'm in your reality right now because you're here, and you're in mine because you're here. In the very moment that we decide to disengage, even though you can see me right now, I may be a figment of your imagination for all you know. Same for all of you guys, right? I mean, logically thinking for me when I feel into it. So our realities mesh by agreement. The moment that we don't agree and we withdraw, we're back into our own separate reality. And so for me, and it could be mine, you know what I mean? It could be mine that has that happen. Yeah, Fonny D, you're next. So thank you for that. So what deck wants? Okay, see now I wondered if that was going to be the case because I got to make sure this is the right deck because I think this one is the activations, Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. Let's see if that is correct. I have two of these decks, and they're both very much the same, and I haven't used either one of them in a while. Yes, it is. Okay. So this is the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle, and it wanted to come out for you. And because that whatever that is in my chest hasn't really receded, it's still there. I want to say that if you're moving through a heart expansion, see, I am also recording the Jeshua channelings, and they are on this channel. If you're new here, it's under a playlist called the Jeshua channelings. You can begin with the preface and go all the way through. I haven't finished recording them. I'm releasing them once a day. But according to the Jeshua channelings, what we are all moving through is moving from an ego-based consciousness to a heart-based consciousness. Sounds smack on to me, feels right to me. And as that happens, I'm also told internally by my own guidance that my body is moving through these updates and changing and upgrading itself. Cells are actually changing. And you got two cards that came out. The very first one was number 29, healing. And the second one, number 36, prosperity. So I got a feeling you're moving through quite a bit too. I wish I knew how to pronounce your name there, Z. Um, well, you know what? You did ask a question, so I'm just going to come right out and say to you, I actually don't do questions, but I will say that if you and your ex are meant to be together, you will. But the truth of it is, at this moment on this planet, my feeling is you got to look inside of you first. We are all being called, in my estimation, to see everything about ourselves. I'm 63. I had a 28 and a half year marriage, and I realized quite late that I didn't know who the hell I was, much less who he was. And um, when you don't even know who you are and you don't show up as who you are, how do you expect any relationship to survive? So, yeah, see, I told you, you ask a question, you run the risk of having an old lady tell you, give you advice. So I'm so sorry, but yeah, if you want me to pull a card for you later when I get, because I've got a whole list here, I'm happy to, Z. Um, so Daryl. 29 is an 11 numerologically, which is a master number. And I'm going to see if I can get this to so you can really look at these at the card while I'm reading it to you. The frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. Healing literally means, quote, to make whole. It refers to the process of restoring health to something or someone that is unbalanced, diseased, or damaged. For us to reach or maintain a state of health and wholeness, we need to balance all aspects of ourselves. Our physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional bodies have to harmoniously work together. And this requires clear communication. Well, dun, 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 dun. The overall energy for today was the Singer of Connection, which has everything to do with communication, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to read that again. Our physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional bodies have to harmoniously work together, and this requires clear communication and awareness of all the information that our sensory system is providing us. So far, we have recognized sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch as the five senses that provide this feedback. In the new energy, we are invited to add our intuitive perception as the sixth, which complements this profound and essential feedback system well. The color green complements this profound and essential nope, sorry. My eyes skipped. The color green dominates this activation as it is associated with health. And it's also associated with the heart chakra, by the way. Uh, it is associated with health. Find my place here. Most likely because in nature, springtime, green indicates growth, fertility, and life. When in springtime we see the first greenish glow return on the branches of the trees, we know that a new growth cycle has started, a clear indication of the continuance of life. Green also refers to a heart that is open to truth, compassion, and love. The purple, violet, and pink indicate our intuitive abilities, which are anchored in a strong connection to source and self. The 12 glowing flowers refer to life and the healthy growth that emerges from an effective healing process. In numerology, the number 12, 10, 11. Wait a minute. That is not a number 12. The number 12 is considered a 3, a catalytic number, but that is not what this is. 9 plus 2 is 11. Am I correct? Did I miss something? Has numbers changed? I think they got this wrong in the book. But 11 is a master number. So, and there's a try this here. Contemplate your state of health for a moment. Are you as healthy as you want to be? What are you doing to contribute to a greater health? Do you realize that your health does not just refer to the state of your physical body? Do you invest in your emotional and spiritual health as well? How do you do this? Take time to lovingly attend to yourself. And I got to say, as far as that lovingly attend to yourself, let me just It pays off. Um, at least it certainly has for me. Um, I speak to my body now. Um, Elise 777. I don't answer questions. If you want a card, I'm happy to draw a card for you, but I don't actually answer questions because then you run the risk of getting an old lady giving you advice rather than your higher self and my higher self having a conversation. Well, actually, this is a way for me to hone my intuitive abilities, to be honest with you. And I just don't trust myself that I'm not going to just give you advice because I'm happy to do that if you like. But so you also got Daryl card number 36, which this one is a nine numerologically, which also speaks to not necessarily an ending, but a cycle of ending. But this also says prosperity. So I don't necessarily feel that prosperity is ending. So let's just see what it says here. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides, which they are many, if you ask me. I mean, I'm pretty poor, believe you me, old lady on a fixed income. Oh no, don't. Okay, okay, great. I will do that, Elise. Let me put you on my list, okay? And Z, I didn't say I wouldn't pull a card for you, by the way. I just can't answer your question. Personally, I think it's time for everybody on the planet to not be worrying about what everybody else is doing and only look at themselves. And that's just the vibe I'm in. So I may not be the one to give relationship readings. The new energy is asking us to revisit and redefine how we want to perceive many human concepts to help us recreate a reality that reflects a new and more expanded consciousness. The way in which we perceive and experience our state of prosperity is important to the creation of our new reality. The word prosperity originates from the Latin word prosperous, which means doing well. But this entails much more than just our financial wellness. Yes, that's the that's the thing most people think when you think of prosperity, right? As finances. This is because our society is so geared to got to make the donuts, got to get to the top of the heap so I can buy this or that or whatever. I mean, that whole dog eat dog thing, man, which I'm so glad I'm not a part of anymore. The original meaning encompassed the totality of our well being, including our health and happiness, as well as our success. Sadly, it seems that we have lost this meaning over time. We have grown accustomed to measuring our success and thus our prosperity by the reflection of our bank accounts. Yep, that's everybody's um, definition too of abundance, actually, even, right? Most folks. That's changing for me. The new energy invites us to reconsider feelings of joy, love, compassion, and connection to self and others, in addition to the fulfillment of our more mundane and physical needs. All are a part of our sense of prosperity. In this activation, the abundance of rich, deep, and vibrant colors refers to the abundance of experiences that the universe provides in any given moment. Experiences that resonate with all parts of our being and activate all the energy centers or chakras in our bodies. The swirling movements indicate the constant change that is at the core of our human experience. Their predominantly green and turquoise colors indicate the importance of letting all these experiences flow through the heart center where we can connect with them with our inner truth before we express them in the external world. The forest in the background and the double squares support the activation of prosperity on the level of our earthly plane and in our daily lives so that all of our needs are fulfilled, those on the emotional and spiritual plane, as well as the ones that ensure our physical survival and well being. The flowers at the corners represent the beautiful potential for new life, new possibilities, and new richness that grows from each new moment. The number 8 is the manifestation number, referring to our capacity. Again, 3 plus 6 is 9, right? Have I lost my thing? Have I lost this? What in the world? I don't know why it's saying 8. Well, which is kind of interesting because the upward, to me, 8 is the upward facing infinity symbol. And for me, it talks about not just manifestation, but materialization. So it's kind of interesting to me. I don't know why it's referring to this 8 here. It can't be speaking to the numerology of the card. It must be just speaking to the number 8. Um, so I'm not quite sure why it's saying that. The number 8 is the manifestation number, referring to our capacity to create our reality and our prosperity on this earth plane through an open heart and clear, focused intent. You know, the truth of the matter is, like I was saying before, I really kind of feel like we create as we move, consciously or unconsciously. But the more I practice my focus and attention, we couple that with intention and oomph. That's how I feel that we manifest. I hope that was helpful for you, Daryl. And I hope that you will, tune in again, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Okay, Fonnie D, I know you said you were still in the house. I'm going to take your word for it and just step into your field. I'm feeling very imperceptible. And it's very quick, but it's like very short rocking in my body. And it's almost like I want to do it over to the right a little. I'm not sure what that's about. Like, just kind of I'm doing an exaggeration of it right now, but it's been a while since I've been in your field, my dear. And it feels, other than that, it feels very calm, and I'm not sure what that is. It almost feels like because it's a short back and forth. Okay, so what I'm being shown is, those baby bouncing things that kind of just do this. It's that kind of movement, but it's not a. I don't know how to explain that, and I don't know what it means. The the frequencies really picked up the minute I stepped into your field too. It's like a cacophony. It always sounds like I'm hearing a symphony of all the different nighttime creatures that sing to us at night. but it's just like right out here, right? It just got really loud when I stepped into your field. There's some kind of rhythmic something or another going on. And I don't know if, like I said, it's like a short bouncing type thing, but I'm not quite sure what that's about. If there's something that, because I know how close to the earth you are with grounding and all of that. So I'm not quite sure what that's about or why that's presenting in that particular way. I do feel the Starman Tarot wants to come out for you. Um, you are moving how I was moving, fun and happy. Oh, I love it when that happens. Ah, oh, I just love when that happens. Like I said, I was just referring to that earlier. I think you might have even been present for the time that there was somebody in a hot tub, if you remember that one, or the time that I was pulled over to. That might have been even the same night. I can't remember now. I know the two different beings that it was, so I'm not sure. And you know what? I don't know if either one of them know about this new channel either, and I have no way of getting in touch with them. See, that's the thing. I always say, and I feel like if you're drawn to me, there's a reason that I don't advertise. I did say tonight on my Facebook page that I was going to go live, but that's it. If you're not my Facebook friend, and you're not, part of the channel already, I did put a post out this morning on the community tab because I wasn't feeling to come here this morning and do my morning mojo. But with today being the full moon in Taurus and everything that I've been hearing from the different, oh, this one, huh? Ooh, my goodness. There's a lot in this card. A lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. The Judgment card. Psh. Well, there's a crap ton of eights showing themselves, the upward facing infinity symbol showing itself big time in this one. Wow, take a look at that, would you please, ma'am? After this reading, I got to do my nightly gathering with the Groovy Girls. Oh, yay! How lovely. Okay, here is my Starman Tarot book. Well, see, at first glance of this, I feel as though, and you and I haven't had the opportunity to connect in quite some time, but I am aware of your channel. And by the way, Fonnie D, she also is a reader, and y'all go to her channel and subscribe because she is very prolific, and you guys, uh, if you feel drawn to her, there'll be something there for you, I'm telling you. But I feel like that again, I said, I don't know if this was before you joined us, that a lot of beings are reporting incoming energies in their field that have not fully permeated into the upfront consciousness. It's here, and it's coming in, filtering in uh, as we can handle it. Okay, that's what I keep feeling. As my consciousness is ready for it, it will open and reveal itself to me. You see, a lot of folks say that the veils are out there. I've come to feel the veils are in here because that's the only thing that explains why it is that some people can see, sense, and feel things that other people can't. And you could take that however you like because it's across the board for everything. It has to do with each being's level of consciousness in the moment, and none are farther along than anybody else. Although there are those who would have some think that's the case. But again, that's a power over other energetic in my view. And yes, I love what you said. We are all students and teachers here if we but recognize that. Some folks get all caught up in that. So I'm feeling like you got a lot coming into your field, and that's what this is indicative of there. Um, Now let's see. Card number 20. That's a 2, numerologically, again, the catalyst. the key phrase here or sentence is I am vibrantly alive and live into the goddess that I am. The powerful figure with his arms raised has just received the force of divine revelation, struck by an epiphany. He is instantly transformed, transfigured into a luminous space age preacher. The metamorphosis is complete, an unrecognizable embodiment of spiritual revelation his previous life wiped clean. The rebirth is complete. He is compelled to live differently, to change everything about life at once, for there is no going back. That is very true. That's how it feels once one has decided to move into the quest, I call it, for the truth of who you are, right? Because we've hidden that truth from ourselves. That's my take on it, and so I'm on the hunt now to find that truth. We are awakened from the hypnotic quality of the spell of the habitual and restricted being and doing in life, just getting by. In an instant, we realize something fundamental must change. We recognize the lie we have been living. The story about ourselves and life is seen for what it is. That's coming for every being on this planet. If you haven't already experienced even just a tiny awakening, there's much more coming, I feel, for all of us, anyone that's still here. There will be more leaving, but anyone that's still here, it's going to get real fun real quick. That's the way it feels to me. The meanings we have carried from childhood, the assumptions we have made, the lens passed on to us through which to view life, the part of ourselves that was lost, has been hiding or lying dormant, is revealed and must be lived out, fully expressed in the world. We are called to action. The revelation wasn't asked for, it wasn't sought, rather, it was bluntly administered. There is no choice but to act upon it. Awake to something entirely different about life, a compelling new possibility. We can't go back. Judgment is a highly charged card, not always easy to receive, and yet carries huge significance and potency. It charges you with the task of looking into your life without hesitation, to see what has been buried, unloved. It calls you to bring it to life. The life you had been living was comfortable, perhaps, but it is not the full truth of who you are and why you are here. Already you quickly recognize the recurrent themes, dynamics, and patterns of your life and have a clear picture of where you are heading. It signals a new holism, the events and patterns of your past, like the pieces of a jigsaw. Well, I laugh. Everybody knows that Sheila calls herself a puzzle piece collector, so I love it anytime puzzle pieces come up. So, like the pieces of a jigsaw have come together to form a whole, complete, in a flash, all can be understood. All is forgiven. You forgive yourself. That phase is over and you are transformed, free to live into a greater reality, a more expansive potential. Stripped clean of all the limitations, old beliefs, and experiences of the past, you can see yourself. Expect change to naturally unfurl as you revision your life in a whole new way. Wow. Lady, you have to reach out to me privately and let me know what's been going on for you. This feels like a huge transformation for you. I hope that was helpful. Fun. Wow. That is so exciting. Now, what did I do with the deck? Oh, there it is. That is so exciting. And as I said, y'all, oh, you nailed it. Okay, thank you. Um, Go to Fawny D, take a look around at her YouTube channel and be sure to subscribe there as well, y'all. Okay. And so, Myron, are you still here or did you get bored and leave? I hope not, because here's the deal. If you're drawn here, even if it's not your turn and you stay, there's more than likely something in everything that, every other card, because that's the way it works for me. Um, you know, Mark Lee, okay, I'm here now. Yay, good for you. Welcome. Glad to have you. Um, I'm not sure I'd have enough time to get to you. I've already been here almost 2 hours, so I'm gonna have to take a tinkle break in a minute. But so, Myron, did you fall asleep or leave here and there? I like that idea. Oh, thank you, sweetie. I would love to reconnect with you. And I have been having a couple of chats with James. So I would love for us to start doing some more dream spaces if you're open for that. Okay. There's a lot moving in my field. And if you're ready to come and hang out and do a couple of conscious conversations with me, I'm ready to go. So good night, sweetie. Thanks for tuning in. I guess Myron, if you're not here, I'm gonna go on to the next. I be overthinking. You still in the house? Because if not, I'll move along to Charlotte. And Myron, if something happened and you were just, on the phone or whatever and you came back, I will come back to you, but I'm going to move along to I be overthinking if I be overthinking is still here, but if not, I will move along to Charlotte. I'm not playing with a full deck of it anyway. None of us actually are, honey. That don't worry about that. What do they say? Well, actually, I think it was the Hatter said we are all a little mad here. Okay, so I be overthinking. Myron didn't answer, so I'm going to go with you, and I'm going to step into your field now. So bear with me just a moment. Okay, now I have scoliosis, and oh, see, I just felt to crack my neck, and I don't know if how. Because the minute I stepped into your field, my whole right side felt like I needed an adjustment, which I do, but still, because I was consciously stepping in your field. I don't know what that means for you. I'm not. I just give everything that I get in my body. It could be mine. I'm feeling there's a yeah, there's something about the right side, whether it's off balance in some way or there's man, I'm having this interesting sensation at the back of my head too. I don't know what that's about, but I have a feeling that again, you too have a lot going on in your field. I think everybody is. And when that's happening, I sometimes have trouble sorting a few things out there. I would be interested to know if you or someone around you physically right now is having any kind of issues on the right side of their physical vessel, or if there's something about balance or this, like I said, it had me wanting to adjust myself. Okay. That's all I can get at that. There is a slight rocking with you, so it feels like there's something that you've either just started or you're about to start. Could be a jog, could be a new way of being, could be, um, well, I personally think everybody's having a new way of perceiving things because that is what seems to be coming in for me. I mean, it could be just for me, but I never think it is just for me. It's got to be for more than just me, because we are all one and yet um, separate in nature, right? And singular, actually. The only thing that actually separates me from you is this physical vessel and all the years I've spent in it. Because we are an amalgamation of all of the experiences we've had in this vessel. And everything we hear and see and take into this vessel goes through that experiential filter. It can be no other way. It colors how you see, sense, feel, understand, and move through life. Everything, including everything you've ever experienced as a child, that is really uh, more pertinent than folks believe, in my estimation. Okay, I'm not sure why I went through that. I'd be overthinking, but there you have it. The elemental deck wanted to come out for you. The Elemental Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. So that's kind of interesting. Well, Mark Lee, you're fun. Maybe I can help a bit. I'm not quite sure what you mean there, but okay. I like that you want to be helpful. Vanessa, still here and learning, enjoying so much. Oh, I'm so glad, Vanessa. Thank you for saying that. Okay. All right. Well, I have a feeling I be overthinking. You got a lot of change going on, or it's coming for you because cleansing is the key word for storms. Now, the card is number 23 numerologically. That's a five. Again, that is a number of change. And for me, that's what that means. It is the number of change. So, and the key word being cleansing. Now, personally, I feel as though there's a huge detoxing going on with this. For me personally, as these files, the data, as they open, their old is leaving so that the new has room to come in and get seated. So there's a lot of cleansing and detoxing right? Both spiritually and physically. In my case, I don't know if that's the case for you. Cleansing, sometimes you need to raise a lot of energy to blow away what you no longer need. An issue will come to a dramatic head. Cleanse your body. Let go of what you feel you no longer need. Be specific in your release. Harm as little as you can. Uh, there's a word power here. It gives the word tempestus, the Latin word for storm. Storms are created when a center of low pressure develops with the system of high pressure surrounding it. Thunderstorms frequently form within areas where a warm, moist air front collides with and borders cool air fronts. Spectacular, beautiful, and somewhat dangerous, these storms can also hurl out hail. Watching a storm come in over the ocean or watching storm clouds form is often an awe-inspiring sight. Watching big steely gray clouds come in from the horizon at the end of a steaming hot day was a common occurrence where I grew up. We would watch the clouds form and drop their heavy, watery burden, big, fat drops hitting the bitumen and causing steam to rise from the road. We always experienced a feeling of all that intensity coming to a head and a comfortable coolness replacing it. Storms raise a lot of energy through movement and kinetic power, and many witches and shamans love to channel that energy into workings and spells. Standing in a safe place, plugging into storm energy is a fantastic way to charge your own body's batteries as well as to practice holding and directing energy. As climatic conditions warm on our planet, storms will become more severe in some places and non existent in others. Both extremes causing imbalance. Controlling climate change will assist in controlling this destructive intensity. The element here is air. So, well, I feel compelled to say something in regards to this climate, and I don't know if it's going to be related to what you're moving through. What if collectively we create the climate? I've seen some puzzle pieces that would seem to suggest that we are at least peripherally, if not smack on, involved in all of it. Um, that's probably a topic for a conscious conversation if folks would like to know more about why I feel that way. But I'm just saying that for me, I don't necessarily buy into all the hype about climate change because there's a whole lot behind some of that I just am not. Uh, my inner says, it gives a little behind it. Oh, I'd be overthinking said, yes, right side wrist injury. And I'm going through a lot of changes. And I just looked into a detox. Well, thank you for all of that, sharing all of that, because that really gives me a lot of validation. And I really appreciate that. Wow. And I would see it's, you're going through some stuff, which is awesome. Thank you so much. I hope that was helpful for you because it sure was for me. Because honestly, I feel like, again, this energy actually is here now for everyone to take advantage of. Charlotte, did you stick around? Because you are now next. Thank you, IB Overthinking. Thanks for showing up. And I hope you don't mind, but I love the way I love the fact that you're overthinking. So since if you are overthinking, you know what I mean? I just love that because for a long time I was an overthinker, but I didn't know I was overthinking. Okay. All right, Charlotte, I'm going to step into your field now, see what we can get. Okay, so I'm getting the vortexing feeling with you, but I'm also feel my breath being taken away as I because it's almost like a falling as hmm. Okay, so I also got a visual with this. I don't know if this is what you are feeling or if the energy that you've immersed yourself in, somebody near you, whatever, but I have this feeling of, as I'm standing in your field, of sort of falling gently, not like scary or and nobody's screaming or anything like that, but a feeling of falling as this is going around like this, so that it feels like a spiraling sort of down. Now, I don't know, I'm not feeling I'm not getting any kind of actual emotions behind this, but when I asked, I kind of was seeing above, like I almost got like a black, but like record um, rings underneath, and it wasn't necessarily you, but it was a figure. It looked like, like you could see a figure that was sort of, so I don't know exactly what that means. There's a part of me that wants to say that you may be, either you or someone you know is either doing a trust fall or perhaps needs to do a trust fall. I'm not quite sure because I don't feel any kind of panicking going on, but at the same time, I also was asking myself, is there any depression involved in this? And I don't feel like I'm certain about that. I don't feel a depression around, right? You see more than those around you can believe. Well, that's a very real, that happens a lot. Okay, so which deck wants to come out for Charlotte? Okay. It looks like it's gonna be this one. What's the name of this one again? Is it no? No, that's not it. See, it's been so long since, yeah, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. Yeah, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. That's what wants to come out for you, Charlotte. Again, there is going to, oh, you're coming out of a depression. Okay, wonderful. That's good. But I definitely was feeling a downward. So it doesn't matter that you are recognizing that you are coming out of a depression. That is a wonderful thing. A lot of times people are in depression and they'll go into denial about it. I've done that myself. Denying something doesn't make it. Ask me how I know. Okay, the Dream Walker. This is card number 8, the upward facing infinity symbol again. Again, this for me is the 8 is a card of materialization, really more than manifestation, and in these days and times. Dreams, the collective good, and illusions. Okay, so let's get to card number 8 here. The Dream Walker. When the dream walker is your ally, and when it that's I guess when it comes upright, which it did, dreams really can and do come true. Still, there are two kinds: those of the small self and those of the divine, which is why I don't really care for trying to answer questions in regards to is the ex coming back, or do you is the love of my life coming, because that's something outside of you and not doing to do with you yourself. I hope that made sense. Which I know you didn't ask that question, Charlotte. That was someone else. Um, So I'm going to read that again. When the dream walker is your ally, dreams really can and do come true. Still, there are two kinds: those of the small self and those of the divine. Spirit has a dream for you that is yours alone, and all you need to do is ask, and it will unfold like magic. Doesn't mean it's fast. Trust me when it does not. And just because you get inner guidance does not mean it's going to happen right away either. Oh, and it doesn't mean that you're going to get it right. Because I'll tell you what, when I first started my very first channel, my inner guidance, I was going through that divorce I talked about earlier, and my inner guidance said that my last name was going to go viral, right? That Corona. That was in 2017 that I got that message. Now, nothing I've ever done has gone viral, but none of us can deny that the name Corona, and I really do feel with all of me that I had to experience it just like that so that I would understand that it is my perspective, my take, distorted as it may be, of that guidance. And I'm the one that put the interpretation on it. The guidance wasn't wrong. My interpretation of it was. And I feel like that happened to me specifically on purpose so that I would see, sense, and know that this happens for all of us. Every channel out there is channeling a higher version of themselves, and they're doing the best they can to interpret what they get. That's my feeling of it. So, you also play an important and unique part in the divine dreaming of the world. When you ask, is this the dream for me that serves the greater dream? The most beautiful vision for your life serves the highest good for others too. Just the act of asking will immediately provide the answer. You have to be present sometimes, well, all the time, in order to catch it and interpret it correctly. That's my feel of that. The dream walker is beside you to help. You move effortlessly through the illusions, observing the truth and celebrating the waking dream of your life that results. Wow. Okay, so I also feel like for you, what I'm seeing here is that you very well may begin to ask questions of yourself and your surroundings, and then just get really quiet. You may start to see fairies, because that's what that little being is right there, is a fairy, and or elementals, okay? Because they are very real and they will show themselves to those who are ready and willing and available. They want to interact with humanity. They are a bit skittish, however, because humanity has denied them and in some cases hurt them. And so there is a fair amount of patience to be to for me specifically, to be had, that must be practiced in order to engage with them. So I hope that was helpful for you, Charlotte. And I would like to say to you that as you move out of this depression, um, I no, I keep telling myself, if I find myself in a depressed state, this too shall pass. My own inner talk is the biggest, most important thing I could do, because thought thinks within itself. And if I speak to myself from a depressed state in the Eeyore voice, I'm just going to stay depressed. And I'm sure you've probably noticed that. You are spot on with my question, struggling with trust of what I have been seeing and feeling in the past months. Oh, sweetie heart. Thank you for that confirmation there. Um, well, here's my take on that specifically. We have been programmed and conditioned to accept an awful lot of stuff that I now see as misinformation, disinformation, outright lie, and simply effing wrong. Just not at all correct on so many levels. Now, a lot of it served, right? It obviously served for lots of reasons. Um, but a lot of that is being shown to us if we get centered and trust in what is happening. Because I feel like we are being offered the opportunity to step up in consciousness, to expand our consciousness to more than we've ever allowed to the truth of who we are. Um, So, I hope that you will continue to come back, Charlotte. Thank you so much for being here this evening. So, Vanessa, did you stick around, or are you gone now, sweetie? Because you and Elise 777, if Elise is still here, but I kind of have a feeling she may have gone. Um, you're after my own heart. Well, thank you, Mark Lee. Um, and I really, oh, you are so welcome, Charlotte. And like I said, I love it to connect with folks. And if you are desirous of having a conversation with me, reach out. Consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com. Just let me know. And I don't charge for stuff. I don't, this is my passion, first of all, because I'm on a quest. This is I, this is my quest. I am on the quest of my life to find the truth of who I am. And any being that shows up and wishes to engage, there's something there for you and there's something there for me. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And I carry a very transparent field, meaning that because I want to see all of me, even the deepest, darkest portions of me, I want to see it. I want to heal what has been, informed incorrectly. I won't even use words like abused, because I know we all have had different traumas that stem from those things. But everyone on the planet has. So that doesn't make any of us any different from the other. And again, for me, it all serves. Okay, Vanessa, I'm so glad you let me know you're still here. I wanted to wait and see. Yes, and thank you for your patience, my dear. I know sometimes I talk entirely too long. So you're going to be my last one. I don't think, Elise, if you're here, let me know. Otherwise, we'll be closing down after Vanessa. So, Vanessa, I'm going to step into your field now, okay? Thank you so much, Charlotte. And Mark Lee, you didn't ask for a card, so I didn't put you on my list. I hope that's okay. Okay, the minute I step in your field, Vanessa, I've got a like a swirly feeling in my head, like a and a pressure right here. And usually what that means for me is that there's you may be going through a bit of a what I'm going to call a pineal detox because I think that all of us um, will experience some of that. I am right now myself. That's part of what this postnasal drip is. My own internal guidance has said. But because I'm having this pressure right here, I feel like it's either a detox or something is coming online for you. You know, we all have these abilities that I'm honing with you right now. And that swirly that I'm feeling in and if this is not happening for you yet, you don't be surprised if you begin to have these sensations, right? Yeah, it's just a bit of a pressure there. Um and I feel led to share it might actually be good for you to get a eye mask to sleep with at night. Um I know I personally have been guided to do that. Make sure that no light gets in. The out outer light does affect the pineal gland along with other things. Um, but but that's a way to help the body and the pineal gland know it's night, blocking all light out. That it does help release the melatonin from the pineal. And so, and again, not sure why I feel guided to share that with you, but okay, there we have it. All right, so I think this is the one that wanted to come out for you. Now I'm not sure which one this is. Which one is this? Is this one? I think this is Oracle of the Fairies. Let us see. I believe that's correct. Yep, it is. Oracle of the Fairies wanted to come out for you. Um, okay, so because you're my last one, and it seems to me like fairies have been a big theme here. Well, I know that I carry a fae aspect, so I'm not surprised that some of you probably do as well. Um, if you don't think you're associated with the fae, I would play around in nature and speak to the elementals. Um, invite them to play. This is for you, Vanessa, and for Charlotte. Well, I think anyone who was called here tonight, anyone who showed up to play. Okay, let's see. What do we got? I'd like to have a jumper, please, for Vanessa. Oh, is that one? Okay. Transformation. Well, of course. I really feel like that's what's up on the planet for everybody. But, you in particular, this fairy tells you to surrender to a transformation in your life that's happening for your highest good. Embrace your transformation. The best is yet to come. Well, the moment that it includes uh, embrace your transformation, sometimes transformations don't feel all that great. And sometimes they include moving out of or away from situations that we truly thought we wanted or thought were in the highest and best, when in fact it turns out that we were supposed to be in that situation for a while, but now the transformation um has us moving elsewhere, right? And you said been sleeping with the light on. Oh, okay. Very interesting. So thank you for that. Yeah. Um, and anything that you could, like I don't know if you have the Dollar Tree near you, but I found some really nice ones at the Dollar Tree. Um, that I use every night. So they can be had relatively inexpensively. So the caterpillar has no idea it's about to transform into a beautiful butterfly. If you've drawn this card, the fairy of transformation has flown into your reading to remind you that you are transforming or are about to transform. Change can be challenging, but it can also be exciting as you witness your own beautiful transition into a new you. Butterflies are messengers from the fairy realm. So if you see a butterfly, be aware of what is going on for you in your life, or what you were thinking when you saw the butterfly. And this goes also, I know we're headed into winter, but this also goes for catching them, on TV, in a video, in artwork, in a book, no matter what. I feel personally that the entire universe endeavors to communicate with me, um, pointing me back into me almost always. Markley said no, and you need more golds and reds, not blue, like in a computer screen. Ah, sunlight. Screen light lowers dopamine levels. Ooh, well, thank you, Vanessa. Um, let's see where to leave off. There we go. The butterfly can act as a spiritual exclamation mark, highlighting the answer to the question you asked during the reading. Whatever your current circumstances, know that things are changing and transforming for the highest good for all. The fairy of transformation wishes to remind you that change can be more amazing than we can ever imagine. When we let go and surrender to the natural changes that occur in our lives, the process of transformation can be a beautiful experience. Change and transformation can also have a ripple effect on those around us. Sometimes people resist change, making it an unpleasant and painful experience. So, seeing you willingly transform with love and trust may have a super positive influence on their personal experience of transformation. This is one of the reasons I've been guided to have this, to do this. That's all I'm doing is moving through my life, my quest to the truth of who I am, and doing it out loud for all to see what it looks like. Yours will look different than mine because you are unique unto yourself. But it's coming for us all in one way or another, as the way I feel about it. So yeah, absolutely. You will have an effect on those. We emit our frequencies and it affects people we may never even know that it affected. Change and transformation can also have a ripple effect on those around us. Sometimes people resist change, making it an unpleasant and painful experience. So, seeing you willingly transform with love and trust may have a super positive influence on their personal experience of transformation. This fairy tells you which parts of yourself and your life are ready to transform. So follow her lead and allow trust and flow. All is well. How lovely. I hope that was helpful for you, sweetie heart. Well, I guess that's it, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to end it there. Elise didn't come back. Myron didn't come back. I understand, Vanessa. Believe you me, honey. I know you don't know my story, but in 1999, I was 490 pounds. I was on death's door for about 12 years. I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't cook. I couldn't clean. I couldn't drive. I could hardly hold my head up. I was misdiagnosed. I've had over 20 surgeries. Yeah, life is difficult, but it can also be. I now know with all of me that a lot of that I went through, I was running from myself. I was running from my higher being, the Christ consciousness that wanted to take precedence. My little ego ran so hard that I almost ran myself off the planet, giving my power away to every other being because I thought they knew more than me. Come to find out, not so. So, I hope that's been helpful. And Vanessa, please, if you feel so moved to reach out to me, do so. Conscious Conversation Central at gmail.com. And we'll get together and have a Zoom chat if you like. I make that available to anyone and everyone. Again, I don't charge for things, and we can get together and have a little chat if you like, and see what's the what for everybody. So thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. Please do go to knewlightstreaminglove. That is where you'll find every place that all of this will eventually be offered. I do know that one of the gals, Chris J, who is on the New Light Streaming Love team, she has set it up for us. We've got this YouTube channel. She does a lot on TikTok. Some of our stuff goes to Spotify, Instagram, Rumble. So a lot of this will be available in all of those places. Mark said, and stand up straight. That's right. So until we meet again, I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. It really is just a matter of perspective. And if you're unable to find joy in that moment, my challenge to you is to breathe, take a step back, and maybe to the side, and see if you can find another perspective, one that brings you higher joy. Because it really is just, for me, a matter of perspective. What if, I mean, truly, what if what brings us joy is exactly the purpose that so many of us uh, search for so long to find? So until we meet again, my friends, I hope that you will all be well. Thank you so much.